What is poppin', everybody? Back at it again with another video here. We're going to do some recaps of some games that happened over Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you guys. We're going to be doing some recaps of, we're going to talk a little bit about Baltimore. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl bubble. We're going to talk a little bit about the Eagles. We're going to talk about the Niners, Chicago, Matt Eberflus, Miami, Green Bay, Kansas City, Raiders. We're going to talk about the Giants and the Cowboys. I'd like to start off with the Ravens, so we'll talk about the Ravens a little bit. Diving into it, people bash Lamar Jackson a lot on like he can't throw and he can't win games, and they bash him when he loses a game, and they don't say anything about him whenever he wins a good game. So he went across the country and beat the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, championship-winning coach, and his ex-defensive coordinator. He also put 212 rushing yards on that team. Lamar Jackson in primetime games is currently 20-5. He has a touchdown-to-interception ratio of 59 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. He has 105 QBR rating. Monday Night Football, he is 7-2, 25 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. 124 quarterback rating, and after a loss, he is 18-4, 41 touchdowns to 17 interceptions, and 97 QBR. Name me a fucking quarterback that could have these stats. Okay, there's none. That's what I thought. You bash him when he loses to Pittsburgh, but then he goes across the country and faces maybe equivalent to a defense as Pittsburgh, and that whole team puts 212 rushing yards on that defense, and it practically embarrasses that defense. They're not in my Super Bowl bubble right now, the Ravens, but they're right in the middle. Like if I had two bubbles, the Ravens are right here, right in the center. If they can figure out that defense down the stretch, do something with the defense, I would gladly put them in the Super Bowl bubble. But now, granted, they did allow the Los Angeles Chargers -6 rushing yards in the second half. J.K. Dobbins did get injured, so that's probably a prime role of that. And when you're in pass-obvious situations, it's easier to read the offense. So hats off to the Ravens on that one. Good dub. The Chargers kind of remind me of a young Ravens team, like a 2018 Ravens team. They're just not quite there yet. Maybe one or two more drafts. They'll probably be Super Bowl winning team. When you watch the Chargers, it resembles the Ravens, like 2018-ish, and it does. I mean, it just seems like they're missing a couple pieces. Quentin Johnson's terrible. Joshua Palmer can't fucking catch with shit. No receiver can catch. They're definitely missing the Keenan Allen, but I mean that's long gone. So, hats off to the Chargers for their attempt, I guess, if you will say. They look good. They looked good in the first half. Justin Herbert looked comfortable. Jim Harbaugh looked all right. Just the Harbaugh, if you want to call it. And the Ravens got the best of it. I want to dive into the 49ers here. 49ers are 5-7 in the last 12 games under Kyle Shanahan. And there's no players currently in their prime besides maybe Fred Warner. He's in the last of it, maybe. They are 0-5 versus the Chiefs with 4 double-digit blowout losses. They're old and expensive, so maybe it's time for a rebuild. It's probably quite obvious here. You're 5-6 and you're last place in your own division, and you have the most expensive team in the league probably. So maybe that'll tell you. You haven't won shit in the last 10 games. You've been to like 2 or 3 Super Bowls and you haven't won any of them. Just maybe it's time for a rebuild. But they don't want to hear that, but I'm going to say it. It's probably time for a rebuild. Moving on, let's talk about the Eagles, man. How about them fucking Eagles? Eagles beat the Rams 37-20 on the road in L.A. Barkley averaged more yards per carry than the whole Giants do per pass. No, that's not just this game. It's on the season. So shout out to Saquon Barkley, man. He's a menace on that offense. They're right in the Super Bowl bubble. Back in it, baby. We got Detroit, Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Buffalo in the Super Bowl bubble. Um, right outside of it, looking in, we got Pittsburgh, and right in the middle of it is Baltimore. Um, Probably one team I'm not thinking of right now, but hats off to the Eagles. Game of the week next week, we got Baltimore at home versus the Philadelphia Eagles. What a game! Can't wait for that game, man. It's going to be a hell of a game. It'll be a really test the Ravens defense. I'll be watching that game, and if the Ravens play good against the Philly, I'll talk about it. Next up, we got Chicago. Chicago gets rid of Matt Eberflus. Apparently, there was yelling, screaming, and disapproval of Matt Eberflus in the locker room that nobody knew about. I guess it came out after his releasing. They relieved him of his duties, and all this stuff came out. You know how it is. But he is 5-18 in one-score games, and Chicago feels like a team that only can win if everything goes perfect. And you can't. That's not. That's not how it is. I mean, Kansas City won. They played like shit. You know what I mean? So you can't have everything you want and expect to play good. How about Green Bay and Miami? What a fucking game that was. Green Bay just manhandles Miami. I mean, they made it look they made the score look all right, like a little closer or whatever, but it wasn't. I mean, if you watch the game, you could tell that the score wasn't close. You know, the game wasn't close. Here's a crazy stat for you that you're probably going to find crazy. The Miami Dolphins are 0-8 in games under 40 degrees. They're terrible in primetime games, and they went from an 80-degree shift to a 25-degree shift in Green Bay. Why did I take the Dolphins upsetting the Green Bay Packers? I don't fucking know, but I apologize to every one of you. I apologize to the NFL. I apologize to everybody who watches my shit. That is on me. Why I took the Dolphins? Don't ask. I don't know. Embarrassing on that one. But hats off to the Green Bay Packers. They look incredible. Next up, we got Giants and Cowboys. Probably the worst fucking game I've ever watched in my life. The most boring game. My stomach was filled up with turkey at that point, and I was just ready to be just done. I was sitting on my recliner with the blanket on, headset on, watching the game, and I was just about to fall asleep. And you know what woke me up? Cooper Rush rushing into the end zone and fucking fumbling it. I mean, it got called back, but what a disappointing team. I mean, you watch the game, and I mean, like one team will go down the field, mistake, other team goes back, mistake, other team comes. I mean, it's just a reoccurring cycle of just clown show bullshit. The Cowboys found a way to win, I guess, 27-20. Honestly, the most boring game of my life. Kansas City beat the Raiders 19-17. Another game I also watched, the Raiders beat the Chiefs. Okay, I mean, I know the Chiefs beat the Raiders on paper, but they got to save the record, end of the year, if you know what I mean. The Chiefs played like shit. Aiden O'Connell outplayed Patrick Mahomes, but they lost. I mean, it's getting kind of obvious at this point when the Chiefs should have lost to the fucking Panthers. The Chiefs should have lost to the fucking Raiders. And everybody expects me to believe that this Chiefs team is going to three-peat. I don't fucking see it. Please tell me where you see it. The fucking Chiefs are ass. You almost lose to the Panthers and you almost lose to the Raiders. At home. So, I don't know what people think when they see the Chiefs. Oh, Super Bowl. Yeah, you're what, 11-1 or 12-1? Gives a fuck. You almost lost to the two worst teams in the fucking league. I mean, it's right in front of you. The defense hasn't looked remotely as good as what it did, before under Spags, but people are getting more tape and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the Chiefs. They're a crazy team. I trust Andy Reid. I really like Andy Reid, but I mean that's about it. But make sure you guys tune in on Tuesday for Top 10 Tuesday. We got some more. I can't wait for that Baltimore and Philadelphia game. Also, I wanted to let you guys know. Let me know if you guys have any games you want me to watch. Give me some suggestions. You guys want to see different kind of videos? Let me know. I'd be more than happy to try new things. I am still new at this, but let me know what you guys want to see change. That's it. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.